Thank you, Anna. Now, if there are any questions from the floor, please feel free to just stand up and walk to the mic and make some noise so that we can at least direct our attention to you. Now, next question to Professor Simon Poh. Overall, given that the focus of the budget is on the longer term with sights on quality jobs for a restructured and advanced economy so that income increases in the long term, which industries or sectors of the economy do you think would be favorably affected and impacted in the short term?
Okay, before I answer that, I think regarding this year's budget, the major themes in this year's budget, I think there's no doubt, it's about productivity, it's about innovation. But I realized that the minister or the government is not original. They actually copied all these words from the acronym of our professional institute. Our institute is, of course, ICPAS, so they are actually encouraging the workers to be innovative, to be competitive, to be productive, and also to be skilled. So, of course, A is N. So the message is very clear. After looking at EPAS, they coined the main themes. Okay, having said that, if you look at the incentive, traditionally the budget will always target at the majority of companies. So schemes like PIC, M&A is all-encompassing. All industries will stand to benefit from these schemes. But at the same time, there are always incentives which are favoring the particular sectors like the financial sector, the maritime industry, the aerospace, and so on. So you see that being featured. At the same time, if you look at the particular sectors which will benefit from this scheme, again, not surprisingly, the 9 promoted sectors that we see under the LIA scheme, these tend to benefit from this scheme. The added advantage is, of course, the being able to claim over 15 years now. Previously, they can only claim over 25 years. IBA is indeed a very slow process. So I see pockets of industries being particularly favored, but of course, the part of the economy, the sectors will also benefit from the most of the schemes.
Thank you, Simon. Question for Yi Lung. Given the emphasis on of the budget on long-term growth, productivity, innovation, and productivity and innovation does take time. Government is forecasting 2 to 3% productivity growth per year. So it does take time. You can't have an increase of 10% in a year. So it's a slow, organic, long-term growth model that they're looking at, and that's what the budget has introduced. So companies will be required to make some short-term changes pretty fast, pretty quick, and with investment. What is your view about enterprises? Will they be able to make these changes fast enough, rapidly enough, with the aim of long-term growth?
Well, if you look at businesses, I have always told EDB, MOF, make Singapore conducive to do business. Businessmen can smell profit a kilometer away. Honestly, I look at my clients. When they look at an opportunity, they will seize the opportunity. No business will want to employ 10 workers when they can employ 9. So as long as the business environment is conducive, leave it to the businessmen, they will make themselves efficient. So, of course, if the ministry is able to throw some additional incentives, for example, training grants, R&D incentive, innovation, automation, that helps a lot. But emphasis must be make Singapore conducive and people will come. And the thing I'm worried about is we say we want to have increase in wages. Now it's a double-edged sword. When we have increase in wages, it means things will increase. So if we have salary increase of 5%, there will be a rippling effect. Everything else will have to go up. If I'm the employer, I have to pay my wages 5%, unless my productivity goes up by 5%. I have to sell my things a bit more expensive. And then it goes back to the consumer. The consumer will want more wages. So it can become a vicious circle. So instead of looking at actual wages increase, we should look at real increases. In other words, increases that is pegged to productivity. That will be sustainable on a long-term basis.
Okay, now moving on to the corporate tax rate of 17%. Okay, there's a gentleman over there who has a question. Thank you, sir. Can you please just identify yourself and your organization? Thank you.
Yes, Winston Chong, Life Planning Associates. I have two questions. We speak about the budget directed towards increasing productivity. The angel investor incentive seems to be promoting entrepreneurship, unless I misunderstand it. Could the panelists please elaborate on that particular incentive and the criteria for an angel qualified investment? That's the first question. Second question, I picked up the Straits Times the day after the budget was published or announced, the phasing out of a fund management related license. I don't know more beyond what I've just said. Could someone just help us elaborate on that? Thanks.
Well, when we look at the angel investor incentive, basically what the minister is trying to do is to tap on the expertise of businessmen. So I would think that if you either have good track record in investing or you've been running large corporations, you will probably be designated angel investors. And the aim there is to tap on these expertise, management expertise, global connection, marketing, and help entrepreneurs grow. So I think it's a very, very good use of both resources, the younger entrepreneurs where they may have ideas, they may have inventions, but they don't know how to go about exploiting it. And then you have so-called the senior business people who have seen it, done it, and then now they've done everything. They say, well, it's time that I groom the younger people to move up. So that's how I see the angel investments. And for the fund management, what has happened is initially we have the 80-20 rule where if you are an approved fund, you cannot have more than 20% of your investors local. Otherwise, your fund will not be exempt. But they have simplified all those rules. So as a result, that the transition period to allow the first-year fund investor to have more than 20% has been taken away. So it is actually a rationalization of the existing incentive.
Thank you, Mr. Sam. I was going to ask a question about the corporate tax rate. That Mr. Chong has rejoined.
Thank you for the response. Which industries, I appreciate the spirit behind the angel investor investment incentive, but were industries specified? Or is this a case where anyone from any industry can make a case for an angel investment?
Would Anna have an answer?
The details are not announced yet. They will be announced, I think, at the end of this month. Yes.